Abigail here, and today Common Core and its repeal in South Carolina is on my mind. The Common Core State Standards Initiative is an education initiative in the United States that details what K-12 students should know in English language arts and mathematics at the end of each grade. What this one-size-fits-all education does is it standardizes our education for the middle 60% of our students, and it doesn't take into account the top 20% or bottom 20% of our students. As you can imagine, there are many ramifications with this approach. My good friends, Susan and Mary Beth, have done extensive research on Common Core and have been sharing that information with others. They share not only basic information on Common Core, but also information on the efforts in South Carolina to repeal Common Core. In this video, you'll see just a bit of the information that they have to share.
We decided the best thing that we could do was to make other parents aware of what we'd learned. And so I developed a presentation that I could go out, and we started actually in my basement presenting to some people that we thought would be interested, and it went on from there. We had people coming out of the woodwork after we made the first presentation, people calling us and saying how they were so interested in learning more, and then they sent more friends to come and see our presentations, and we've just got people offering to help us in all kinds of different ways.
And the other thing that we really try to stress in the presentations is don't just take our word for it. We are providing you with the information, but we want you to do your own homework, look into these things, and make a decision for yourself so that you can understand what is really behind Common Core. And that kind of helps people get in there and know where they can be a part of this and what they can do to act to help get this out of our school system as well.
One of the questions we get asked a lot is why South Carolina even decided to participate in Common Core. And basically the answer is that they were bribed to participate. The federal government offered Race to the Top funding and exemption from No Child Left Behind. And if the state agreed to participate in Common Core and the student assessments that come with it, then you received those benefits.
Bill Gates is the primary funder behind Common Core. He's put over $200 million into the implementation, the creation, the promotion of Common Core. The grants that he has provided have spread across the board between state education departments, your think tanks, your private education organizations as well.
The Standards Writing Committee included about 25 people. 11 of them were from the student assessment industry, and there were also a few professors. There were no teachers, and there were no child development experts on the committee. The standards were written from the top down. What they did was they looked at what needed to be learned by 12th grade and then what needed to be learned by 11th grade, and they went down from there. The standards fell wherever it was convenient for the writers without considering child development.
One thing that people really need to understand about this, it is not a state-led initiative. I mean, basically there were no state school boards, local school boards involved with this. It was trade organizations, nonprofit organizations, a single gentleman named David Coleman who led the standards writing process. And you know, a lot of it was done behind closed doors. There was not a lot of openness, transparency. That's why people didn't even know what Common Core was when it came into the schools. And the thing that I find most amazing is that our state and most across the nation did not even see the standards before they signed on to them because the standards were not completely written. Both President Obama and Arne Duncan have stated that they want the cradle-to-career data tracking. What that basically means is they'll be collecting over 400 data points on our kids. This is all outlined in the Smarter Balance testing agreement. Some of the things they'll be collecting are things like your child's disciplinary record, their out-of-school activities, personal things like their eye color, if they have any defining birthmarks. This personally identifiable information used to be secured under FERPA, but that law was reinterpreted in 2011, and that is no longer the case.
So Common Core is really a socialist-style education approach, and it results in mediocrity. You will not hear words like excel and exceed. It's always about being proficient. With the Common Core approach, we really start to lose a friendly competition between teachers and how they teach. It's going to result in a loss of creativity and innovation in our classrooms. We really just touched the tip of the iceberg on Common Core, and there's an issue for everybody to be concerned about. We hope that you'll take the time to do some further research to learn more about this important initiative.
And one of the great resources that you have to find that research would be at www.repealcommoncorenow.com. That is actually a website that we have put together, and we also have a Facebook page. It's called Repeal Common Core Now, so you can go out and like that. And one other resource that is available is www.scpie.org. That is South Carolina Parents Involved in Education, and they have a wealth of information about Common Core as well. Okay, this is a standard. It's called RL 2-9. It's for second grade. By the end of the year, read and comprehend literature, stories, and poetry in grades 2 through 3 complexity band proficiently with scaffolding as needed at the high end of the range. Basically, that translates into students in second grade should read and understand more difficult books at the end of the year than at the beginning. They may need some help throughout.